Hi, thanks for joining me today. I'm Laura, I'm with NYEF.
Thank you. I'm Bridget. I'm with PCRS 360.
And I'm Jenny Malloy. I'm with PCRS 360.
Talk a little bit about what your program is and which schools you're in and how you got started. So take it away, one of you.
So I serve a dual role. Our nonprofit, PCRS 360, falls under the umbrella currently of the Park County Special Ed Co-op. And I'm the director of that co-op. And so as time kind of came with the increase of mental health issues and behavioral health needs, we recognize that in our rural communities, we don't have access to a lot. And what is provided in a traditional format for access to those supports wasn't working in a small rural community. And so my partner and I, who is also an educator, her name is Billy Taylor. She's our program coordinator. We created what we call PCRS 360, which is Park County Rural Schools 360. And we provide behavioral and mental health support to all the rural schools and communities in Park County. And that goes from Cook City to Gardiner to Prairie and Immigrant and over into the Shields Valley.
Great. And what kind of services are you providing to the schools and students?
The way that the reason we have that 360 on the end is the fact that we want to encompass all people in these rural communities, whether that be the students in the schools, the staff that work with them, the administrators, the secretary who greets you, to the community members, and just hoping to build this culture where mental health and behavioral health supports are what everyone needs. They just need them in a different way. And so we do everything from professional development for the staff and administration to what we call self-care days for our teachers and providing them an opportunity to really relax and engage in their own needs. To also collaborating with other organizations like Live Well 49, which is a bigger resource. And then our biggest, I think, accomplishment is what we provide in the schools, and that's through Bridget Kelly as our behavior analyst. So what do you provide?
Jenny. Yeah. So I go into the schools, and because the schools are the hub of the community and a place where, you know, each of our small communities has a relationship. And I work primarily with students and help them meet and work under any behavioral needs they have, and build those relationships with them in order to figure that out, and then help the teachers support them in the classroom, help support the teachers in the classroom, work with the administrators to find out what you know, are the best ways to support everyone in that case, and then oftentimes work with the families and the parents. And I will get phone calls, you know, sometimes before school in the morning. How do I get my kid to school? You know, and knowing that they have somebody they can connect with who is as passionate about their child as they are and invested in their success as they are, opens a lot of doors for the families, I think, within their community. I help connect them with mental health supports and other community supports, because parenting is hard, teaching is hard, being a kid in school is hard, you know, and so my background is in education, so for me the aha moments with anyone are the reason.
All right. And so you get up and you drive, you come down to Gardiner once a week. It's an hour drive to get down here.
It's the most beautiful commute in the world.
How many students are you serving here at Gardiner School?
In Gardiner, I think somewhere in the neighborhood of 14, 15. I think in the county it's closer to 50 students.
Okay. Which translates for the county, what type of percentage?
I think it's a little more than 10% of students in our county. Not including Livingston, you know, our rural schools.
You're seeing about 10% of the students,
and their families
and
in
their
a lot
families.
of cases.
Can you share an aha moment that just stands out, that without naming names or anything, but
absolutely.
just an aha of?
An aha moment, one for me, is a Gardiner student who was able to graduate last year. Was amazing for me. And I have another student who really struggled to attend in a different school and is now not only attending school, but getting pretty good grades, and everyone's on board and supportive, and those pieces are huge.
What would you say to parents? Like, how, if we have parents that end up watching this little interview that we're doing today, and they're like, wow, I do struggle with things. How can parents get more involved in your program, and what is it that they need to do?
They can always find me through the schools. Parents are able to refer their own child to me, or call me and email me and ask me questions. I have teachers who stop me in school and say, who have little ones who aren't in school, and they're like, okay, what do I do? So the umbrella is wide. And I think probably because we're in the schools, everyone knows how to find the school, and then therefore they can find me.
Very good.
Do you have another?
I think the biggest thing is to know that we are pretty passionate about what we call early intervention. And so if we're working with, the 7th grade sibling, and your 3-year-old child at home is struggling, or maybe interacting differently with your 7th grade child, we encompass the whole family, whatever you need. And that's a big part of, just intervening, so that we're not referring families to, we're not saying, oh, you need to have a therapist in town, or you need to go see someone. We're helping you connect with relationships, whether it be through big brothers, big sisters, or just figuring out how to get your kiddo on, services for support for insurance, or just having Bridget come and do an observation, or being just a mediator, a liaison between a rough situation or relationship that all goes away and things kind of settle. And we just want to be able to support, and we're pretty flexible in what we support in. We continue to, people ask us, well, what do you do? We can't really put it in a box, because if we put it in a box, it contains us, and that's not what we're here for. We're going to support you how you and your family need it.
Because everyone's different.
Yeah.
And everyone needs to be supported, in their own way, and to meet their needs.
Yeah, great. And how has NYEF played a role in making this happen, and where you guys are today?
PCRS 360 was created through a grant that we received through A&B West. And with that, we had to secure a fiscal sponsor to have our funding flow through that, because at that time we were not a nonprofit. There's a lot of opportunity in Park County and people who would serve in that role, but we chose NYEF to be that fiscal sponsor because they have the same philosophies. They support the community in which they are in. They have a strong support for mental health, and we felt like we could collaborate in a way that others couldn't with us.
Well, thank you. Ladies, thank you very much for your time today. And May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and so we will continue posting on the NYEF Facebook page and in other ways to keep the message going that everyone needs support from time to time.
Thanks.
Thank you.